Okay, so let's say you've got a big accounting interview coming up. Congrats. I bet you're hoping to really impress them.
First impressions are everything, right?
Definitely. Well, we're diving into some awesome advice today, all based on this YouTube video from How to Become. They're like the interview gurus, and we're going to break down their tips so you can totally rock this interview.
Yeah, this video is cool because it goes way beyond just generic advice.
It's not just like, wear a nice suit, honey.
No, not at all. It actually digs into what accounting interviewers are looking for, and then it gives you concrete ways to show off those qualities.
So it's about proving you're not just good with numbers, but that you'd be awesome to work with too, right?
Exactly.
And their first tip is all about, well, it's almost like being a detective.
Oh, you mean understanding the company inside and out? This is where a lot of people kind of trip up. They think, okay, I know my debits and credits, I'm good. But you got to go deeper. You need to show them you've done your homework on the company itself. What industry are they in? What's their culture like? How's their financial health?
It's like becoming a mini expert before you even walk in the door. The video even recommends diving into their LinkedIn page, their website, even checking for any recent news about them.
Right. When you show that level of knowledge, it tells them you're genuinely interested and you take initiative.
It's like saying, hey, I didn't just apply to every accounting job posting. I'm interested in your company specifically.
Exactly.
And get this, it gets even more specific.
Oh, yeah.
The video says you should even know what accounting software and systems they use.
Like, are they a SAP shop, Oracle,
Yeah.
QuickBooks, that kind of thing?
Yep. And figure out where this specific role fits within their finance team.
What are the day-to-day responsibilities? What are their pain points? That's all in the job description. Use it.
Okay, now for the million-dollar question. You know the one. Why should we hire you?
Ugh, I hate that question.
Right. But they actually give a top-scoring answer for this.
Oh, I'm all ears.
They suggest saying something like, I believe you should hire me because I bring a unique combination of skills and experiences that align closely with your company's needs.
Okay. I see where they're going with this. It's not just listing your skills, it's connecting them to what the company needs.
And showing your enthusiasm and your proven track record.
It's like you're not just talking about yourself, you're showing them how you fit into their picture.
That's key. It's not a me show, it's a how can I help you show.
Yeah.
All right, tip number 2 gets back to basics. Those accounting fundamentals.
Ah, yes, the bread and butter. Can't forget those. It's like prepping for a final exam, except the prize is a job.
Exactly. So the video says to brush up on all those key principles and standards, like GAAP or IFRS.
Depending on where the company operates, of course.
Right. Think of it like this. They're testing if you've got the accounting muscle to handle real-world stuff.
Not just memorizing definitions.
Nope. They want to see if you can apply those principles to solve problems and make good decisions.
So be ready to chat about financial statements, auditing, tax law, compliance, all the fun stuff.
Okay, imagine they hit you with, how do you ensure compliance with GAAP in your daily tasks? They actually give a sample answer for this one, too.
What do they say?
It talks about staying updated on the latest standards, having detailed documentation, and using software to automate those compliance checks.
Smart. It shows a proactive approach, not just reacting to problems like you've got systems in place.
Exactly. Systems to make sure things are accurate and that you're always ready for an audit.
Love it.
Tip number 3 is all about showcasing those practical examples.
Ah, this is where your resume comes to life.
It's like show, don't tell, but for accounting, right?
Exactly.
So instead of just listing your experiences, you need to be ready to share specific examples of how you've handled tasks.
And more importantly, how you've solved problems.
The video suggests thinking about times when you went above and beyond, showed off your problem-solving skills, took initiative, were super detail-oriented.
It's like think of the hero moments of your accounting career.
Love it. Those times you faced a challenge, conquered it, and learned something valuable along the way.
Those are the stories that'll stick with them.
Okay, they even give a top-scoring answer for that classic question. Tell me about a time you found a big error in a report.
Oh, that's a good one. What do they say?
Their example is about spotting a discrepancy, then investigating the root cause, and collaborating with other departments to fix it.
Wow. Sounds intense.
It does.
But it hits on so many important things. First, you can spot critical errors and understand their impact. Second, you take initiative and collaborate. And third, you can actually implement solutions and prevent it from happening again.
And I think it's important to note, their example involves owning up to a mistake.
Oh, interesting.
So they emphasize that if you choose an example where you messed up, It's key to focus on what you learned and how you prevented it from happening again.
Right. It shows accountability and that you're always trying to improve.
Like saying, hey, I'm not perfect, but I learned from my mistakes. So far, we've got understanding the company, those accounting fundamentals, and practical examples. What's next?
Okay, now it's time to switch roles and ask them some questions.
I love this part. It's about showing them you're not just there for a paycheck, you're invested in the company's success.
Exactly. And the key is to ask questions that prove you've done your research.
More than just skimming their website, right?
Yeah. They suggest looking into the company's recent activity, their challenges, their goals, and coming up with relevant questions based on that.
Like, what are the biggest challenges facing the accounting team right now? Or are you planning on implementing any new tools or technologies?
Great examples. Those show you're thinking about the future.
Oh, and don't forget to ask about their long-term financial goals and how the finance department plays a role in getting them there.
You want to see the big picture.
And they suggest asking about recent financial or industry trends that might be impacting the company.
It's like saying, hey, I'm paying attention to what's going on in your world.
Totally. Plus, ask how success is measured in this role.
What are the key performance indicators they're looking at?
It shows you're thinking about how you can contribute.
It's like, I'm not just looking for a job, I'm looking for a place to learn and grow.
Exactly. And that kind of attitude can really make you stand out. So we've got the company research, brushing up on skills, practical examples, insightful questions. What else can help us nail this interview?
Well, it might seem obvious, but practice.
Like anything, the more you prep, the more confident you'll be when the spotlight hits.
It's like training for a marathon. You wouldn't just show up on race day and expect to win, right?
True. But practicing for an interview isn't about memorizing answers word for word, is it?
Not at all.
So what is it about?
It's about getting comfortable talking about your experiences, explaining how you think, and letting your passion for accounting shine through.
It's like a dress rehearsal for the main event.
Exactly.
Okay, the YouTuber even suggests recording yourself, answering practice questions so you can see how you come across.
I love that idea. Sometimes we don't realize how our body language or tone might be perceived until we see it for ourselves.
Okay, so we've covered the prep part,
Mm-hmm.
but what about handling those nerves in the actual interview? Any tips for making a killer first impression?
Definitely. You want to look the part, so dress professionally, project competence, and that you take this opportunity seriously.
Even if the company culture is casual, it's best to err on the side of formality for an interview.
Agreed. And body language matters. Sit up straight, make eye contact, project confidence.
And smile.
Yeah.
Show them you're approachable and enthusiastic.
Absolutely. When you're answering, listen carefully to their questions and take a moment to gather your thoughts.
It's better to pause for a sec and give a thoughtful answer than to rush into something you haven't fully thought through.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification if you need to.
It shows you're paying attention and want to get it right.
And one last thing. Sending a thank you note afterward is so simple but powerful.
It's like the cherry on top of a great interview performance.
It shows you're thoughtful and appreciative.
So we've covered a ton, researching the company, prepping those answers, and everything in between. It's clear that preparation is key.
Absolutely. But there's something else that can really make you shine beyond all the technical stuff.
Okay, what's the secret ingredient?
It's genuine enthusiasm, taking initiative, and having a real interest in the company. Those things can't be faked.
You have to really want to learn, grow, and contribute.
Exactly. It's about showing them you're not just looking for any job, but a place to thrive.
I love that when you come in with that mindset, it shows.
So, even though we've given you tons of practical tips, the most important thing is to let your passion for accounting shine through.
Well said.
And hey, even if this one interview doesn't work out, everything you've learned will be valuable for future opportunities.
Every interview is a learning experience.
It helps you grow and refine your approach.
So don't get discouraged if you don't get every job you interview for. Keep learning, keep practicing, and you'll get there.
That's right.
Okay, so that wraps up part 1 of our deep dive into accounting interview tips.
In part 2, we'll dig into even more strategies to help you shine. See you there.
All right, welcome back. You know, after all that talk about interview questions, I'm feeling ready to, step up my game even more.
Totally. We've covered the basics, but now it's all about building that confidence to really shine in the interview.
The video keeps coming back to practice, practice, practice.
It's true, though, isn't it? It's like anything else. The more you practice, the better you get.
It's like training for a marathon. You wouldn't just show up on race day without putting in the miles.
Exactly. And remember, practice isn't about memorizing answers word for word.
It's about getting comfortable, talking about your experiences, explaining how you think.
And letting your passion for accounting shine through, that's what'll really make you stand out.
They even suggest recording yourself answering practice questions. It's like having a coach review your game tape, right?
It's a great idea. Sometimes we don't realize how we come across until we see it from a different perspective.
Okay, so we've prepped those answers. But what about the actual interview? Any tips for handling those nerves and making a good first impression?
Oh, absolutely. First impressions are everything, right? So make sure you dress professionally.
Even if the company culture is casual, it's always better to be a bit more formal for an interview.
Agreed. And don't underestimate the power of body language. Sit up straight. Make eye contact. Project confidence.
And smile. It shows you're approachable and enthusiastic.
Absolutely. And when you're answering questions, listen carefully. Take a moment to gather your thoughts before you respond.
It's better to pause and give a thoughtful answer than to just blurt something out, right?
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for clarification if you need to.
Makes sense. So what about after the interview? How do you leave a lasting impression?
A thank you note goes a long way. It reinforces your interest and keeps you top of mind.
It's like the icing on the cake of a great interview.
It shows you're thoughtful and appreciative.
All right, so we've covered a ton. Researching the company, prepping those answers, and everything in between.
It's clear that preparation is key for acing an accounting interview.
But beyond the technical skills and preparation, there's one more thing that can really set you apart, right?
Absolutely. It's genuine enthusiasm, initiative, and a real interest in the company. Those are qualities that can't be faked.
You have to genuinely want to learn, grow, and contribute to something bigger than yourself.
Exactly. It's about showing them you're not just looking for any job, but a place to thrive and make a real impact.
I love that. And when you approach an interview with that mindset, it really shows.
It comes through in your answers, your questions, your body language, everything.
So while we've given you tons of practical tips and advice, the most important thing is to let your passion for accounting shine through.
Well said. And remember, even if this particular interview doesn't work out, everything you've learned will be valuable for future opportunities.
Every interview is a learning experience, right?
It helps you grow and refine your approach.
So don't get discouraged if you don't land every job you interview for. Just keep learning, keep practicing, and keep putting yourself out there. It's like building a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger you get.
Speaking of building, have you ever considered the importance of networking in your career?
Networking. Oh, that's a whole other beast. Sometimes it feels intimidating.
It can be, but it's incredibly valuable, especially in the accounting world. Building connections with other professionals can open so many doors.
So where do you start? How do you actually go about building those connections?
There are tons of ways. You can attend industry events, join professional organizations, and LinkedIn is a great tool.
It's like tapping into a secret society of accounting pros.
You can learn so much from people who are already successful in the field, get valuable advice, even discover opportunities you might not have known about otherwise.
So it's not just about who you know, but also what you can learn from them.
Absolutely. And remember, networking is a two-way street. It's about building genuine relationships and being willing to help others as well.
It's about creating a supportive community.
Exactly. So don't be afraid to reach out to people in your field, ask questions, and offer your own insights in return.
Now that we're talking about careers and networking, it makes me think about the bigger picture. What are the possibilities with an accounting career?
That's a great question. The world of accounting is so much bigger than many people realize. It's not just about crunching numbers in a cubicle. There are so many different paths you can take.
It's like a choose-your-own-adventure for finance professionals.
I like that analogy. You could specialize in a particular industry, like healthcare or technology, or become a forensic accountant, investigate financial crimes. You could even climb the corporate ladder and become a CFO.
Wow, the possibilities are endless.
They really are. And the skills you develop as an accountant are valuable in any field. Problem solving, analytical thinking, attention to detail, communication.
Those are transferable skills that can take you anywhere.
Exactly. And as technology continues to evolve, the role of the accountant is evolving too.
I've heard a lot about AI and automation changing the accounting landscape. What are your thoughts on that?
It's definitely a hot topic, and it's true that technology is automating many of the routine tasks that accountants used to handle.
So are robots taking over?
Not at all. It's more of a shift in focus. As technology takes over those repetitive tasks, accountants are freed up to focus on more strategic work: analysis, forecasting, advising.
So it's like technology is becoming the accountant's sidekick.
Exactly. And this means that the skills that are most in demand for accountants are changing too.
So what should aspiring accountants be focusing on in this new landscape?
Technical skills are still important, of course, but they're not enough on their own. Employers are looking for accountants who are tech-savvy, adaptable, and can think critically.
So it's a blend of technical expertise and those all-important soft skills.
Precisely. Communication, collaboration, critical thinking, problem-solving, these skills are becoming even more valuable in the age of automation.
So it's not just about crunching numbers, it's about being able to analyze, interpret, and communicate those numbers effectively.
Exactly. And as businesses become more data-driven, the role of the accountant is becoming even more strategic.
It's like the accountant is becoming the storyteller of the business world, using numbers to paint a picture of the company's financial health.
That's a great way to put it. The accountant is no longer just a bean counter. They're a strategic advisor, a problem solver, a key player in helping businesses succeed.
This has been so insightful. We've gone way beyond just acing the interview. We're talking about the heart of what it means to be an accountant in today's world.
I agree, but there's one more crucial aspect we can't overlook: ethics.
That's right. Trust and integrity are fundamental to the accounting profession.
Absolutely. Accountants are entrusted with sensitive financial information, and they have a responsibility to handle that information with the utmost care and honesty.
It's about doing the right thing, even when no one's watching.
Exactly. Ethical behavior is non-negotiable in the world of accounting.
So it's not just about being technically proficient, but also about being ethically grounded.
Precisely. Employers are looking for candidates they can trust. They want to know you'll handle their finances with integrity.
It's not just about what you know, it's about who you are as a person.
Well said. Character counts.
With all this talk about ethics and integrity, I'm feeling inspired to continue our deep dive. But before we wrap up, I think it's time to reflect on what we've learned today.
It's been a journey, hasn't it? We started with acing that interview, and now we're discussing the future of accounting, the importance of ethics, continuous learning.
It's amazing how much ground we've covered. And that's the beauty of the deep dives, right? We take a topic and explore it from all angles.
Exactly. We hope this deep dive has equipped you with the insights and inspiration you need to navigate the world of accounting.
The future is bright for those who are passionate, driven, and eager to learn.
We're rooting for you.
And that's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time with another fascinating topic. Until then, stay curious. All right, we're back. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty energized after that deep dive into, the heart of accounting.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's so much more than just numbers.
Right. It's about strategy, ethics, making a real impact.
Absolutely. And speaking of impact, we can't forget about continuous learning.
Oh, that's a good point.
The world of accounting never stands still, you know? New tech, new regulations, new trends popping up all the time.
It's like trying to hit a moving target.
Exactly. To stay on top of your game, accountants need to embrace lifelong learning.
So what does that look like? Just like reading accounting journals all day?
Haha. Not necessarily. It means staying updated on industry news, going to conferences, getting those certifications.
Oh, and all those online courses and webinars. There's so much out there.
And don't limit yourself to just the technical stuff. Broaden your horizons.
Explore different areas of accounting that might spark your interest.
Exactly. You never know. You might discover a hidden passion or a new skill that totally changes your career path.
That's what makes it so exciting. There's always something new to learn, a new challenge, a new way to make a difference.
I think that's a perfect note to end on. Whether you're prepping for an interview, starting a new job, or just exploring the field, remember to stay curious, embrace the challenges, and never stop learning.
It all comes back to that passion for accounting, doesn't it?
It does. The future is bright for those who are willing to evolve and adapt.
We started this deep dive by helping you ace that interview, and look where we ended up, talking about the future of accounting and continuous learning.
That's what the deep dive is all about, isn't it? Taking a topic and really digging deep.
Uncovering those little nuggets of wisdom.
We hope this episode gave you the insights and inspiration you need for your accounting journey.
To our listeners out there, best of luck in all your accounting endeavors. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro, we know you can do amazing things.
Absolutely.
And that's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time with another fascinating topic. Until then, stay curious,